Some 500 years ago, William Shakespeare wrote, "All the world's a stage, and the people merely players." In 1986, football fans of the Pacific Northwest were audience to a season of compelling plot twists and high drama. The Seattle Seahawks formed the cast of this remarkable story, and not even their coach could predict how truly dramatic it would be. Chuck Knox was impresario to a plotline that was filled with all the elements of a great saga. There were the collective heroics of a defense that could alter a game's course with one bold stroke. There were also individual stars, young athletes who ran farther and faster than all others. Players with heart who also made history, and men who endured bitter defeat, yet battled back to lead the sweetest of victories.
Here's the toss to Warner from the 40-yard line, takes off over left guard to the 45 to the 50, breaks into the secondary, one makes the read, he beats him, he's on his way! Goodbye, Denver! Touchdown, Seahawks, Kurt Warner!
It was a season of stirring theater, a season quite unlike any the Seahawks have ever produced. The curtain rose on the 1986 season in a brand new setting. The Seahawks' modern headquarters was finally finished and in full operation. Serving as both training camp site and team offices, the structure was dedicated in June by club president Mike McCormick. Also hard at work was the Seattle coaching staff. Once again, the Seahawks had been saddled with the toughest schedule in the NFL, and it would take the best efforts of all the coaches to mold a team that was coming off a disappointing 8-8 season. By the end of training camp, the staff had their players primed and off to the best start in team history, beginning with an opening day demolition of the Steelers. Both Seattle's special teams and defense scored points while surrendering none to Pittsburgh, as the Seahawks won on opening day for the third straight year. Quarterback Dave Craig fired 2 touchdown passes, and halfback Randall Morris dashed 49 yards for another score as Seattle breezed to a 30-0 win, the first time anyone had shut out Pittsburgh since 1982. The next week, the Seahawks whipped AFC West rival Kansas City 23-17, beating the Chiefs under the dome for the 4th straight time. After 2 consecutive victories at home, Seattle found themselves in trouble at New England, trailing the defending AFC champions by 10 with less than 6 minutes to play. But 24 fourth-quarter points, some long-distance passes, and a blocked punt for a touchdown by rookie Patrick Hunter and the Seahawks special teams turned the tide. It erased the huge Patriot lead and gave Seattle a thrilling 37-31 comeback win.
Craig has a look. Now he's delivering one deep down the right side. Butler's there at the 25. He's got it. He's down the sideline. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Holy smoke, do you believe it?
Seattle's explosive offense had them dancing in the aisles, and one reason for this success came from a revamped offensive line. Along with 4 new starters came a new blocking system that produced immediate results. Instead of taking on a single defender, Seattle's linemen turned to combination blocking, a help-thy-neighbor approach that opened running lanes and made life easier for John Borchardt, Connie Kawhi, Kurt Singer, and tackle Mike Wilson.
By doing combination blocks, you can fire off the ball because you know you've got some help. And so it allows you to come off the ball even more and attack them more than kind of being hesitant. So that works out much better.
Wilson joined centers Will Grant and Blair Bush, guard Edwin Bailey, and emerging stars Ron Mattis and Brian Millard, along with a crunching young blocker in the backfield. In his first season, number 32, John L. Williams, became the best fullback in team history. He blocked brilliantly, rushed for over 500 yards, and finished third on the team in pass receptions. The balance Williams brought to the Seahawks offense was just part of an overall strategy that worked to Seattle's advantage.
We like to establish the running football game, but in the back of our minds, we know that we can throw the football. We have Steve Largent, Daryl Turner, Ray Butler, Byron Franklin, Paul Scanzi, and so on. We are very confident in the fact that we can throw the football. And I'm very confident in my ability to get the football to these people.
Dave Craig had every reason to pass with confidence, for Seattle's receiving corps was the deepest and most talented in franchise history. On fly patterns, Craig and Gail Gilbert looked for Turner, Butler, or Franklin. On third downs, there was Scanzi, or tight ends Gordon Hudson and Mike Tice. And in the clutch, the receiver of choice was perennial All-Pro Steve Largent.
At this point in my career, that I'm the person that the Seahawks look to, you know, in clutch situations. They're going to try to get the ball to me, and that's the type of situation that I look forward to.
You know, the world is full of unrewarded geniuses, men with great God-given talent that never utilize it, never materializes. Steve maximizes his God-given talent.
In 1986, Chuck Knox and the rest of the Seahawks watched Largent set NFL records in spectacular fashion. In 11 brilliant seasons, Steve Largent has earned respect from the competition and admiration from his teammates.
Everything he's accomplished on the football field, as professional as he has been, he is that and much more as a person and as an individual, and more specifically as my friend. And I really value that much higher than what he does as a professional football athlete.
On the night of October 6th, all the world was a Largent fan. One more catch would give him a record 128 consecutive games with at least one reception. Wide receiver Byron Franklin and fullback Eric Lane made the early catches in a 33-7 rout of the Chargers. Then, late in the second period, Steve Largent's rendezvous with history was finally at hand.
Largent out wide to the right, back Craig, a quick pass. A new NFL record for Steve Largent, and at 7:07 here in the Great Northwest, this place will erupt. And the teammates of Steve Largent swarm onto the field to congratulate him.
Someday, all significant league receiving records could belong to the most popular player the Seahawks have ever had. In 1986, the Seahawk defense posted some show-stopping numbers. No team in the AFC allowed fewer points, and no other NFL club posted more shutouts. Seattle's coordinated team defense concept was just the ticket for pursuing players like linebacker Bruce Schultz.
The main thing we do is you take care of your responsibility and then go help out the other way. If your responsibility is taken care of and anything you have to do after that is just a plus. We're not a real big defense, but we like to move around a lot and out-quick the guys.
The quickest of Seattle's linemen was number 79, Jacob Green, whose dozen sacks landed him a Pro Bowl berth for the first time in his career. Nose tackles Joe Nash, Randy Edwards, and Reggie Kinlaw continued to pose problems for teams who tried anything up the middle. And despite nagging injuries that persisted all season, number 77, Jeff Bryant, was still a dominant pass rushing force. Seattle's most active defenders were its linebackers. 4 of the team's 5 top tacklers came from this hard-charging unit. Bruce Schultz, Keith Butler, Greg Gaines, and Fred Young all had career seasons, making themselves one of the better linebacking crews ever to wear Seahawk colors. Fred Young continued to turn opponents' colors black and blue on special teams and went to the Pro Bowl for the 3rd straight year, this time on his merits as one of the NFL's most combative linebackers. Hard hits came frequently from the secondary as well. Some of the toughest shots were delivered by number 45, safety Kenny Easley, until injuries ended his season. But there was no shortage of aggressive safeties on this team. Number 21, Paul Moyer, had his best year as Easley's replacement. And first-year starter Eugene Robinson, number 41, always seemed to be exactly where the football was. Seattle boasted one of the league's most talented defensive backfields, with Kerry Justin, Gregory Johnson, Eddie Anderson, and Terry Taylor. And as the league's most seasoned cornerback, number 22, Dave Brown, continued to lead this hard-hitting secondary. It was the Seahawks defensive backs who provided the spark in many of the team's 1986 victories, their most significant contribution coming in a Week 7 battle with the eventual world champions. Paul Moyer sent an early message to the New York Giants about trying to pass on Seattle. Apparently, it took the Giants an entire game to learn their lesson. Quarterback Phil Simms had one of his worst days of the year, throwing 4 interceptions, 2 of them picked off by Dave Brown. Seattle also sacked Simms 7 times, 4 by Jacob Green, as the Seahawks became the last team in 1986 to beat the best team in the NFL. Gordon Hudson's touchdown helped clinch a rousing 17-12 win over New York. Now it was on to Denver for a first-place showdown with the Broncos. But it was in Mile High Stadium where Seattle's luck went sour, and a whole season turned.
Here's Chris Norman now with his second punt. Seahawks get through a pocket. It's blocked, picked up at the 10-yard line and run into the end zone for a touchdown by Scansy. But we have flags down to hold the phone.
A touchdown was wiped from the books, and then matters only got worse.
Now Craig out of the shotgun. Here's an all-out blitz. Craig stays in the pocket, throws. He's got a touchdown to Butler. A flag is down though at the 10. So take that touchdown away. It's a penalty against Seattle.
Tell you, I hate that saying when it rains, it pours, but I can't think of anything better to say right now.
The defeat sent Seattle into its most agonizing losing streak in years. 3 more losses followed, none of them even close, as the once contending Seahawks saw their record slip below 500. veterans like Kenny Easley knew it was time the players took a long, hard look in the mirror.
And I think that's the way you solve any problem, is the people that are directly involved in making the outcome different have a genuine concern about it. The players came with a dogged determination to turn the season around. We were more thoroughly embarrassed than our fans, and our fans were very disappointed. It was the players that took the initiative.
Leading the comeback was Seattle's special teams, from punter Vince Gamache to Michael Jackson, Glenn Hyde, John Kaiser, and Sam Merriman. Their rugged play helped keep Seattle's fading hopes alive.
Special teams, it's a different type of player. It is a kamikaze type. You have to have the attitude that you're willing to light your hair on fire, in a sense, and go down there and cause a wreck.
Merriman and the special teams were the difference in a Week 12 win over the Eagles. After scoring off a blocked punt, the stage was set for a stunning solo from the NFL's leading punt returner.
Bobby Joe Edmonds backpedals to his 25, over the shoulder grab, takes off hard for the left side at the 30, now breaks it back toward the right side at the 35. He's got an avenue, and up the sideline he goes. Could go all the way. Goodbye, Philadelphia. Touchdown, Seahawks.
From here on, Seattle would win every game they played. Chuck Knox brought the Seahawks into Dallas for a Thanksgiving Day duel with the Cowboys. And while millions of TV viewers enjoyed turkey and stuffing, Seattle shoved the football right down the Cowboys' throats. Dave Craig orchestrated one of the best offensive performances of the season, scoring 1 touchdown and passing for 2 others. By whipping heavily favored Dallas 31-14, Seattle put tears in the eyes of Texas. Number 28, Kurt Warner, also contributed, slashing his way to 122 yards and a touchdown. But this was just another typical performance from the finest running back in the AFC. For the second time in his career, Warner led the conference in rushing. He outgained the next best ball carrier by nearly 400 yards. For opponents like Chargers linebacker Billy Ray Smith, playing against Warner was nothing short of a nightmare.
Kurt Warner, the thing that makes him so hard to bring down and stop is that he's such a great cutback runner. Kurt sees a gap, he'll cut back and hit that. Probably the best cutback runner in the game right now.
Warner's surgical moves sliced defenses to ribbons and allowed Kurt to break his own club rushing record. Along with 13 touchdowns, there was simply no other runner in the conference who did more for his team than Kurt Warner. Warner's All-Pro performance kept the Seahawks' late-season surge in high gear, a streak that continued on a Monday night in a game against the arch-rival Raiders. Seattle's relentless defense forced 4 turnovers and logged a team record 11 sacks, as the Seahawks handed the Raiders their most humiliating defeat in a quarter century. Kicker Norm Johnson booted 3 field goals, 2 longer than 50 yards, while Dave Craig's passes took the Raiders apart.
Craig will operate out of the shotgun, fires to the end zone, ball is caught, touchdown Seahawks! And I mean to tell you, Craig just shot that ball.
Once benched at midseason, Craig was now the undisputed leader of the offense, rallying the team with inspiring play. Over the season's final weeks, no other quarterback in football had a hotter hand than David Craig. Having easily disposed of the Raiders, Craig continued to light up the skies the following week, firing 4 more touchdowns in a 34-24 thrashing of the Chargers. The stage was now set for a season-ending showdown with a familiar foe. Seattle's playoff hopes were barely flickering, and to keep such hopes alive, they would have to beat division champion Denver. To do so, the defense would have to shut down Bronco quarterback John Elway. While the Broncos' attack was held in check, the Seahawk offense could do no wrong, as Seattle's acrobatic receivers caught everything Dave Craig sent their way.
Second and goal to 7. Craig throws one for Turner in the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown Seahawks. And Craig with a perfect touch.
Seattle's passes shot Denver down. And then Kurt Warner ran the Broncos right out of King County.
Here's the toss to Warner from the 40-yard line. Takes off over left guard to the 45 to the 50. Breaks into the secondary. One man to beat. He beats him. He's on his way. Goodbye, Denver. Touchdown, Seahawks. Kurt Warner. Well, that's kind of a fitting way to maybe end the afternoon here.
As the curtain came down on the final act of the season, there was only one team in football that had beaten both Super Bowl participants. Only one team that had triumphed successfully over the NFL's toughest schedule. Only one team that had bounced back from disaster to blow away all challengers in a rousing finish. The Seattle Seahawks knew exactly which team that was.